Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Mary, and today I am going to be applying a mask that I have used before, and this one is Yes to Tomatoes Clear Skin Detoxifying and Hydrating White Charcoal Mud Mask. It's a long name, but this is a mask that I will be applying on camera, and then I will go ahead and get into the topic. And today's topic, I will be talking about clay masks, when they started, what they were about back in the day, and that is based on experience, and then what clay masks are today. So let's go ahead and apply this, and then we will get into our talk. And it does come with an applicator that you can remove and apply it straight from the tube, or you can use the applicator. And the applicator is actually aimed for spot, and I will go ahead and show you. I'm trying to get it up to the tip because it does come up, and you can either do spot treatments, which that's what it's for, but I like to use it just because it has a sponge, so I use the sponge as an applicator. So I just apply it, and it does get really nice on here. It's a very nice application. I do have to keep squeezing it, and sometimes it pops up. And this mask applies almost like if you're applying a moisturizer. It takes a long time to dry. More times than not, my time runs out and I have to rinse it off rather than wait for it to completely dry, which means it's not going to cause a lot of dryness, cracking, anything like that. That is not what this mask does. And although on the surface it may appear to be cracking, it does not stretch, over dry, or pull my skin at all. I like the way it feels. It's just something I like. And it does take a little bit of time because you do have to keep squeezing up as you need it, and then just apply it. And like I said, I like the way this feels. I will talk about the mask itself at the end, and we'll get into the topic for today. And I probably should have applied it beforehand, but I just thought it would be fun to show you all how I apply it, because I do have to continuously be pulling it up. And this is an applicator, like I showed you, that does come off, so it is easy to clean and does not leave a lot of residue. It also helps so that you are not applying very thick globs of the mask, so it helps with applying a thin layer, because that's what it asks for. It asks for a thin layer, and that is what I am doing. Okay. And I believe I have it completed. A little bit more on the nose. That is, after all, one of the areas that I do need a little bit more of the cleansing or exfoliating, because it is an exfoliating and retexturizing type mask. I like that about it. Here we go. And once I am finished, I will go ahead and take off the cap, the little sponge, and clean it off. So let's go ahead and get into masks or clay masks, and that is masks then, which is back in the day, and then masks now. And I did not find a lot of information from way back when. The only thing I can tell you, and this is just personal experience, is we didn't have a great variety to choose from when it came down to clay masks. For the most part, everywhere you went, people were raving about one particular mask, and I'm going to go ahead and give you the name of that mask. But first, I'm going to share that masks or clay masks date back as far as 5,000 years. So that's a pretty long time to have clay masks. And clay masks back in the day had nothing to do with what we use them for, which is, oh, we want to be glamorous or resurfacing, retexturizing. Although it did those things back then, they used it more as a treatment. So they used it more to treat the skin, both on the face and the body. They also, back in the day, would strip your skin of any moisture because it absorbed as much oil as possible out of your skin. That is the way that it exfoliated and extracted any of the impurities, by absorbing extra oils off of your skin. They were intended mostly for oily skin, but we didn't know any better. At least I didn't, and many of the people that I knew, up to and including the beauty school. We did not know too much about dry skin, oily skin, all of those things, on all of those products that you see nowadays, oily skin, dry skin, normal to oily skin. Although it existed, there was not a lot of information as to the negatives that would come with applying a product that was not intended for your skin type. One of the main clay masks that people used back in the day, and it was super popular, I know I used it many times, and even then I had very dry skin, was the Mint Julep by Queen Helene. That was a mask that was the lowest cost mask that everybody wanted to use. It came in a tub, and while researching this information, surprisingly, they still have it. And I found it at Sally's, and it's $9.89. It's quite affordable. And like I said, it's a pretty good sized tub. Scoop it out with a spatula, apply it to your skin, and you're good to go. However, that mask, I'm not sure, I haven't used it recently, but that mask would literally crack to where there were gaps in your cracks. Many people said if it starts cracking on your face, that's how many wrinkles you're going to get on your face. I'm not sure if that ever came true. I know it cracked on my face many times, and I don't have half the wrinkles of all the cracks that I had. So that was just my experience with that particular mask. It did leave my face very dry. A lot of moisture had to go into the face, even oils, because it really dried out your skin. So now I'm going to go into the now. And masks nowadays are pretty much for all skin types. Any skin type that you can imagine, there may be a clay mask for that. And what I like about that is that, especially the ingredient hyaluronic acid in all of these masks, that is the key to everything. If you have hyaluronic acid in a clay mask, it's almost guaranteed that it is not going to over dry your skin. At least it has not for me, because I have used quite a few clay masks here on this channel, and it has not over dried my skin. As long as it says hydrating on any part of the name, just as it did with this particular mask, it does say hydrating. I look for that. I look for that in the clay masks, because I like what the clay masks do, which they do exfoliate, and they also extract any impurities from your skin. But if it says hydrating and you can see clearly that it has hyaluronic acid, chances are it's not going to over dry your skin. Now we go into the most common for dry skin is the Kaolin or Kaolin. It's K-A-O, Kaolin. K-A-O-L-I-N, clay. And that is one of the clays that is the least damaging to skin. It's intended for sensitive skin and also intended for dry skin. I'm going to go ahead and name a few of the clays that do get used in order to create these clay masks. The number one clay, believe it or not, was exactly that kaolin or kaolin clay, and that is also known as China clay. And this one is mild. It's great for dry and sensitive skin. So that's what it's intended for. This particular mask right here has kaolin clay. So that is what this is made of, which is a plus. Then we have the next one is bentonite, which is also known as the swelling clay. And that is a clay that if you add a little bit of water, it starts to swell up or expand. That is mainly intended for very, very dry skin. It does a lot of extensive and pretty much drying. This is just what I found on the information. I do not have very oily skin, so I cannot tell you by experience, but it swells and starts extracting all of the impurities in your skin. Then we have the French green plant matter clay, which is mainly composed of algae and chlorophyll. These extract the impurities from your skin. It tightens your skin, and it also helps with the circulation of the blood, and that is essential. We also have the Fuller's Earth, which is the most absorbing. It is ideal for dry or sensitive skin. So that is one of those that it absorbs oils. It also extracts impurities, but it is intended for dry skin and sensitive skin. More than likely it has hyaluronic acid. Then we have and I know I'm going to butcher this name, Rhassoul, RHASSOUL clay, and that helps with blackheads. It is intended for very oily skin because it does attack acne, any type of problems that you may have with your skin. It absorbs from deep within your pores. It tightens. It also has a lot of minerals that are essential to kind of soothe and calm your skin once you use the clay masks. Now, clay masks, from what I found, for whatever skin type that you may have, I found that leaving it on 10 to 15 minutes, allowing it to dry, some will crack, some will not. Fortunately, they do kind of crack, but not like the mint julep used to crack. But these particular clay masks are only intended to be used once a week, and that was just the recommendation that I found. I'm just a disclaimer, because I forgot to do the disclaimer beforehand. I am not a medical doctor. I am not a skin doctor, so these are just things that I found. I will list the websites down below in the description box where I found this information if you want to go on and read a little bit more on it. But if you have any concerns, or just for the sake of what ifs, seek advice from a skin doctor in order to get assistance in what type of products to use with your skin. Once again, yes to tomatoes, detoxifying and hydrating white charcoal mud mask. As I mentioned before, I have used it before, and this is a clay mask that you kind of feel the tingling. So something is working, not a burning. It does not hurt in any way, shape, or form. It does dry to a clay consistency, but it does not over dry my skin. And I'm not sure if it comes out a little bit chalky, but like I said, it feels like a cream, as you can see, not cracking. That is one of the pluses. So again, if you see the kaolin, Kaolin clay or hyaluronic acid in the ingredients, that may be for sensitive skin and dry skin. That is pretty much all that I have. Thank y'all for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. Y'all have a blessed week, and I will see y'all in the next video. Until then, stay safe, stay blessed, smile always. Bye.